This is Worth the Journey, a Worthington Schools podcast. My name is Angie Adrian.
And I am Jeff Maddox. Together, Ange and I serve as assistant superintendents and also the host of this podcast. And Ange, believe it or not, we're heading into our third year and people are actually listening.
Thankfully, it's not really about us. It's about the amazing people that we get to interview.
Worthington is home to about 11,000 students and 1,400 staff members. But what makes this place so special is the relationships, the culture, and the sense of community we share.
We celebrate the journeys of the people who make Worthington Schools such a great place to work and grow.
So whether you're a student, staff member, parent, alum, or just curious about Worthington Schools, we're glad you're joining us. Ange, have you ever been to this place called Buc-ees?
Probably you and our audience are going to be really, really disappointed, but I have never stepped foot in a Buc-ees.
But you know what a Buc-ees is,
I
right?
do, and I mean, I don't, why is it spelled that way?
That's a good question. I don't know. I don't think people go for the spelling.
I know. It just
I think people actually go
me.
for the barbecue pit that resides in the middle of the store.
Yeah, so it's way more than a gas station.
It's
like a total experience when
now
you
can
enter
get gas
into a
there,
Buc-ees.
and there's like 900 pumps. But when
Yeah.
you get into this place, it is an experience, right? And our next guest that we have on has an awesome story about Buc-ees, and I'm excited to hear it.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Now, our guest has more than just a story about Buc-ees.
Well, let's hope. That's why
our
he's
guest,
on. This is going to be a short podcast.
Has worn lots of hats in Worthington Schools.
Yes.
As a teacher, a coach, a summer school principal, and now in his first year as assistant principal at McCord Middle School.
Excited to hear about his
Welcome,
journey.
Kurt. It's good to have you. Kurt Hess is with us today.
Welcome, buddy.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
So why don't you start us off and share your Buc-ees story?
Well, I guess the Buc-ees story, it's kind of a long time coming. We're traveling to with my side of the family. So my wife and I, 2 daughters, we stop at Buc-ees. We've never been. I think we're outside of Lexington. Buc-ees, I've never been. So you walk in, like Jeff said, there's 900 pumps. My wife's like, oh, we got to go get food. We got to go get lunch. Let's keep going and get to Buc-ees. So we walk in. There's hundreds of people there.
So wait a minute. You went to Buc-ees for the food and not the gas?
Went to Buc-ees for the experience is what my wife would say. So maybe that's food and gas.
I don't
And the
understand.
barbecue.
I still don't understand.
So super excited about the barbecue. She's like, you love brisket. Why don't you go get brisket? And so I walk into the middle of Buc-ees, and it's not a gas station, and there's somebody banging on the table, carving brisket right in front of your face, and it smells like a barbecue pit. So I think I'm at City Barbecue when I walk in.
Yeah, it's good.
And my wife's like, well, go get the chicken fingers. And I'm like, okay, why are we getting the chicken fingers? They're like, well, if our girls are going to eat anything, it's going to be chicken fingers. So I go over to the grab and go section. Buc-ees has a grab and go section, and the chicken fingers are empty. So you can get burritos, you can get tacos, you can get all this stuff. My girls aren't going to eat that. They're going to eat chicken fingers. So I'm in a line 20 deep waiting for chicken fingers for probably 15 minutes. And I'm not somebody who likes a ton of people around me. I feel claustrophobic all the time. And everybody is Buc-ees. There's hundreds of people. I'm just standing in the grab and go line for chicken fingers. Probably took 20 to 30 minutes before we were officially out of there. And once we finally got our food, I then had to fill up and go get gas. So we hadn't even gotten gas yet. So it was probably an hour stop. So all of the people that I passed on the highway, I now have to try to pass again on our way down to Pigeon Forge, which is where we were trying to go. So the story really, the real story starts when we get to our house. And just like you always do, right? You open up the door, you grab a load of bags and stuff, you go into the house, you look around the house for a little bit, you start the tour a little bit, and my wife comes out for the second trip as she's going to grab the bags, and she comes in, slams the door, and screams to the whole house, oh my gosh, there's a bear! And I'm like, there's no way. We were looking for bears the whole way down because my wife's a big wildlife person. I said, there's no way there's a bear. She goes, yes, there is. Get out there right now. So I opened the door, and there is probably a 2-year-old black bear just sniffing my daughter's stroller and smelling my car and jumps into the back of my car and is sniffing around, clawing around. Probably 3 to 5 minutes after we got through the thrill of this black bear being in my Kia Telluride, the bear comes out and he's got the bag of Buc-ees, eats the chicken fingers right at the side of the house in front of our face, and goes about his merry day. So
that bear knows Buc-ees.
I mean, after the thrill of the black bear being 10 feet from me, it was a really cool experience. And so it was a great way to start a
Cool.
vacation.
That's a way to kick
all
it
because of the Buc-ees trip.
Yeah. How would you rate the Buc-ees chicken fingers?
He doesn't know. He didn't get to eat them.
I didn't eat much of them, that's for sure.
Did you not
the brisket
listen to
sandwich
the
was
story?
good, though.
Listen, there's no chance he had to have had at least one of the chicken fingers.
That's the dad tax, right?
Yeah,
like, I mean, even if you get it for the girls, you got to take a bite,
100%.
right?
I mean, one of those before they ever go anywhere.
No, the brisket sandwich was good, though. It was good home-cooked barbecue. It was awesome. I will go back, and my hometown, Dayton, Ohio, they're building another one in Huber Heights off of 70. So when we drive home for weekends and for holidays, every time we're like, all right, is it open? Is it open? And I didn't even like it that much. Like, it was fine.
Okay.
It's just the experience.
Sounds like it's an experience. So when I go to the Giant Eagle gas station, I go to get gas. It's not quite an experience, but I don't go for anything else. I just go to get gas.
You will now. You
so
might find yourself driving to Dayton for Buc-ees just to get your gas.
So how does that compare to like a Sheetz or a Wawa or
Sheetz is a great spot. I've never been to Wawa. Buc-ees is just that much larger. It's bigger. Sheetz is pretty good. I got made fun of when I went up to Youngstown because I didn't know what an MTO was. It's the made to order at Sheetz, and I guess it was a PA thing. So I've always considered Sheetz a PA thing. Pennsylvania, but now it's flooding into Columbus for sure.
All right,
well, let's move on to the real purpose of our Worthington
Journey
Journey
all day.
podcast.
Buc-ees, please sponsor us.
And that is to hear the stories of those that we work with in Worthington schools. And so, Kurt, tell us a little bit about your journey in Worthington, your history of your own schooling, and maybe a little bit about your family.
Yeah, thank you. I grew up in Dayton, hometown. I'm one of 4 kids. My mom and dad are homegrown Dayton people, and I got a chance to go up to college at Youngstown State University in Northeast Ohio. Played football there for a little bit, and studied to be an educator. I was, at the time, I think it was called early childhood education, so pre-K through 3, had experiences in all of that. And my wife's from Cleveland, and we were trying to move to Columbus. My brother lives here. Her sister now lives here, and so, trying to move back to Dayton. We were looking for jobs, and Worthington, had a couple jobs available, and Jeff and I talked early on, and had a couple interviews, had a good couple conversations, and was able to teach 3rd grade at Colonial Hills for 6 years. Always been interested in sports and had a lot of sports backgrounds. But, when I came to Worthington, I got into coaching really quickly. Started with a lot of good relationships with a guy, Nick Wiedenhoff was somebody that pulled me in, and Zach Wojciechowski over there, 4th grade teacher here in Worthington. So coached football, coached track, and, started to flirt a little bit with trying to become a principal and some of that stuff. So I had a couple experiences with summer school, and last year before the school year, I was able to do summer school principal, and last year was my first year as an assistant principal under Mr. Kuri over there at McCord. So starting my 2nd year now, and I feel like on my way over, I'm just thinking, I think I know everybody, at least one person from every building in Worthington, and I think that I'm pretty lucky. I don't know if everybody gets that chance here in Worthington, but it's the people are there. You got to build the relationships and say hi to people, and I probably know one person in every building for some reason or another. So lucky to be here in Worthington for sure.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
You shared a little bit about your family with the chicken finger story with the kids, but tell us about your wife and your children.
Yeah, my wife, Sarah, like I said, she's from Strongsville, just south of Cleveland. She played soccer at Kent State. So we met, her best friend played soccer at Youngstown State. And so Sarah came up for a birthday party once. And, Kent State and Youngstown's about 35 miles away. So not too far. But yeah, we've been together 7, going on 8 years now. Yeah, 7 years.
Let's
there we
make
go.
sure we get this right.
I got that math right. 7.
Yeah, we'll
7
have to bleep that out of there.
Going on 8 in July.
You sound a little more confident.
But we have two daughters. Nora was our first daughter that we kind of had right at the tail end of COVID. So that was, a fun experience becoming a dad and becoming parents during the COVID time when everything was starting to, re-release back into the world. And then Lila, she's so Nora's 4.5, Lila's 2.5. Both of them are, spend all their days with people from the Colonial Hills community. So the Morris family, they are our babysitters. And since 3 months old, Nora's been with the Morrises, and she goes to St. John's now, downtown Worthington, so right on High Street there. And Lila will start early 3s preschool at St. John's. So,
awesome.
Kind of fully immersed into the community over there still.
What I know about Kurt is he's a learner. He wants to grow. And as I was kind of listening to your story, you've worn many hats already in our district. Can you highlight a stop that you said, man, this is where I really grew? And how did you grow?
It's hard question. I feel like I grow every step of the way, really, in some aspect or another. Colonial Hills is a treasure, though. It really is. It's a place where special people teach, special families live. Sherry Barrage over there, she's just a treasure in every way possible.
Shout out Sherry.
But no, I think just being at Colonial Hills and understanding Worthington is a place where people care about each other. Of course, we want kids to do well on tests. Of course, we want kids to excel in sports and the clubs that they're involved in. But, number one at Colonial Hills is always, checking in with that person and making sure that person knows you care about them and that they're taken care of. And going through that COVID time, where we kind of really dug our heels in and said, hey, let's make sure everybody's okay first, that before we, really get after the academics and really get after the instruction. And, the way that Sherry kind of led us all through that is kind of something that I think I'll always hold near to my heart.
You recently transitioned out of the classroom into a leadership role. Talk with us, because obviously we would love to have people who want to take that step. Talk with us about that transition from the teacher role into a building leadership role.
You find out that they're completely different. And there's a lot of similarities, and you have a lot of experiences, I think, as a teacher that can help you build for what you're going to see or what you're going to experience. But there's just so many differences. Your day to day, you're not lesson planning, you're not prepping, you're not instructing, and at the middle school level, multiple times a day, similar curriculum or similar content. You're not really sure what you're going to get yourself into every day. And in terms of being a leader, I don't know if it's my attention span or just the way that I'm built. That's comfortable for me. I enjoy, solving problems and connecting with a lot of different people, and also relying on it. And the best thing about the leadership, especially here in Worthington, is you're never alone. Like, you are always going to have somebody with you. And as a teacher, you're not alone either. You always have your principal, you always have your team with you. But at any time during the day, if I have a question or an experience or a situation that comes up, Michael's closest to me. So I can ask Michael, or I could call either of you. I could call Emily at any time. Mm-hmm. As a leader here in Worthington, you're fully supported, and you will be a member of a team. And so that's just always been a big draw for me, is collaborating. And like you mentioned earlier, I'm just going to always be a lifelong learner. I'm always trying to, be a sponge and grow in any way that I can and ask questions. And I think that's because, Worthington has kind of harnessed that, and they've enhanced that in me. So they've allowed me to be that learner still.
It's really well said, Kurt. It's evident that connection and relationships are super important to you. We believe in that in Worthington, but I do have to ask you a question. What was it like? I'm assuming you were building a connection with students at the time, but what was it like to have a pie in your face in front of an entire school building?
I don't know what it was about this connection that I was making with this student. And I hadn't been at McCord very long. It might have been just a month before they started announcing, hey, we're going to do a drawing, and students can, with good behavior and good grades, they can earn a ticket to pie a teacher in the face. There was just this one kid, and every time I saw him in the hallway, he kind of gave me that meet the parents, like, I'm watching you kind of thing. And he still does it. And of course, I think that the drawing was completely rigged.
Yeah.
Because they're like, okay, this guy's he's gonna pie Mr. Hess in the face. It's going down. So when they called the names, I said for sure. And everybody's like, oh, you're gonna get pie in the face. And with a thing I didn't realize, of course it's all for fun. I loved it. It was awesome being on the gym floor, and there were 3 of us up there. We were completely decked out with trash bags, and you knew what was gonna happen. But this guy, he didn't even wait till they said go. He threw it early. The thing I wasn't ready for was that whipped cream fills your nose and you can't breathe. And so he hit me good enough, and I was gasping for breath a little bit. I'm like, oh my gosh, I was not ready for that. I just thought it was going to be a nice clean break, but I'm still up there wiping my nose, trying to breathe and trying not to look like a fool in front of everybody. But, to see the smile on the kid's face made it all worth it.
Was it a real pie? Or was it just
It was just all whipped cream in that pie dish. Oh, yeah. No,
So-
not a real pie, I guess.
So between the whipped cream and the black bear, what was more terrifying for you?
Because it's a student and I knew it was all for fun, that was out of the kindness of my heart. The bear is kind of unpredictable. And when that bear stood up, like he was small, like maybe a year or two.
Yeah.
When he stood up, I was like, I don't stand a chance.
Yeah.
So if he comes after me, scary factor, I think it was the bear probably.
You have talked with Ange and I about the importance of your mom and dad. Why don't you talk about your mom and dad and how they shaped you to have a service heart?
Yeah, thank you. So I think like my mom went to nursing school right out of high school, and my dad went to the police academy right after high school. My dad was a city of Dayton police officer for 30 years, retired, and he's now the chief of police for the Metro Parks in Dayton. My mom worked for the same doctor for 30 years, and I think, when I sat and reflected on, some of the things that we've talked about, my mom makes sure everybody is, taken care of. They have everything that they need. She's very nurturing. And then my dad, as a police officer, just has always focused on keeping people safe and protecting others and being present and being a leader, but also, being a teammate. And I think about the things that they had to do on a daily for 30 years, both in their fields. And I'm like, okay, I think I do these things on a regular. And this is kind of why I'm drawn to education or drawn to leadership and, what can I pull from them constantly? And so, they were just great models, not for myself, but also for our whole family, my siblings and, some of the things that they held on to tight, the values that they have, I live out every day. And it's natural for me, I think, because I was in that environment with them.
Yeah, and I know you live by the quote, never ask anyone to do something that you haven't done or that you wouldn't do yourself. And I would imagine you learned some of that from your folks as well.
Yeah. Mom for sure, dad for sure. And, if something needed to be done at the house, then it needed to be done. Somebody was going to do it. If it was a chore for one of us siblings, then we didn't have it done. We were going to know we were supposed to have it done. But they went through all the lengths in the world. And now I kind of, with my two daughters, even this past summer, I remember my mom would drop me off. She'd drop us all off. We had swim practice in the morning in the summer. We were staying until 2:45, got home, got ready for baseball, had to try to do all that on our own. And it's like, wow, everything that she went through, I now have to try to provide to my own kids.
Sure.
That's hard. My mom did a lot of work, in the summer. I thought it was just, hey, let's drop us off and have fun at the pool. Oh, no. We're driving to. We're driving from. You got practice. You're paying for this. We're getting ready for baseball. I'm washing your pants so you have it the next day. And it's like, wow, okay, I'm seeing they did a lot more work than I realized. So, yeah, definitely attribute a lot to them.
Kurt, you talked with us about Colonial Hills. Talk with us about McCord, what's going on at McCord, your role, that transition from elementary to middle school, and what you're proud of, what's going on in the building this year.
Yeah, two very different buildings. The jump from elementary school to middle school is a big one. Just because I think the day goes a lot faster, and Colonial Hills people might not agree with me on that one, but the classes are so much quicker. You don't have the 90-minute learning blocks. You have the 42 minutes. You have the lunch. You have the option, and kids are getting involved in athletics. They're getting involved in clubs. But we really have a great staff at McCord, and a lot of our teachers definitely dig their heels in, and they go to bat for our kids all the time. What I love, I think, the most about being at McCord and jumping kind of from teacher to assistant principal is you just have your hands in everything. And we're talking about the Worthington mentor program right now. We're trying to get started. I'm finishing up a lot of our stuff for our clubs right now. So we do a pack period twice a month. We let kids join clubs. Student of the month breakfasts are always fun. We try to nominate kids for student of the month, but just trying to enhance their educational experience a little bit more outside of the day. And I know at Colonial Hills, you take care of the kids, you teach them, they go through their curriculum, and then you kind of let them play the rest of the day with their family. With McCord, it can be an extension, and you got football doing this, you have lacrosse doing this, and cross country, and robotics clubs coming in early that morning. And so there's those different elements at middle school that I really love, and I've always loved to have my hands in a little bit of everything, but not a lot of that's possible without the office staff that we have, the teachers that we have, and the kids and the families too. They got to buy in, and they're definitely really involved at McCord. So when we get something going, when we get a program or a club going, we better expect family's going to be there, right? Siblings are going to be there, and we're going to do it right. So, if you want to do it right or you want to do it a certain type of way, then ask your families. Families will be there to help you, and they can kind of help enhance it too, which I think makes that such a special community at McCord.
Kurt, Jeff and I both had the opportunity to be a principal in a middle school, and I know the best part of my day in a middle school. What's the best part of your day at the middle school? When's the best time for you to, I don't want to give it away, but connect with kids?
Yeah.
What do you like most?
Yeah, and lunch is always great
Yeah.
because you get to see them, they're smiling, they're happy, and you get to see the raw student of themselves, the raw person. But my favorite is because you can get stuck in the office, right? You get a lot of work, you have parent phone calls you have to make, you have this type of meetings. I think it was even yesterday. It was like 12:30, 12:45. I'm like, I have yet to be in a classroom today, and this is bothering me. I think I'm still so close to teaching that I'm like, if I'm not in a classroom every day, if I'm not seeing people, and I tried to implement that culture a little bit when I got there too. Like, hey, I'm not coming in to evaluate. I'm not coming in to say anything specific. I just want to see you in action as a teacher and the students in action. And so, as of right now, outside of lunch, I just love getting in the classroom for something. And when they're working on, a science experiment, or, in May, we were doing the bottle rocket thing, which was really fun outside. And it's like, I want to be involved in that too, because, that's the reason why we do it.
Yeah. I think all those things are true for me too. I just remember having done most of my career at the high school level. When I went to the middle school to be a middle school principal, I didn't realize that we still had recess for middle school, right? Recess at middle school. So I love lunch because I had the opportunity to see all the students. We had 3 lunch periods by grade level, and then being outside with them on recess, you got to see them in a different light. And I would fight to be all-time quarterback at recess, but certainly love that part of my job as principal too.
Absolutely.
Kurt says the right thing, being in the classroom, and certainly that was the best place to be. But
Comfortable there, man.
And even bus duty at the end of the day, just middle school kids just bring so much life to our jobs.
It's an awesome age.
Great plate. Yep.
Yeah. Our listeners are clearly going to hear Kurt and go, man, this guy's pretty well spoken. Ange, do you realize he's kind of our competition, that he, in fact, has his own podcast?
Yeah, my guess is he probably speaks to a different audience, but
he speaks to a different audience. One could argue he's maybe
Bigger
got
audience.
cooler guests. Kurt, why don't you talk with us about your podcast and why you do it?
We run something called the Y-Town Penguin Podcast, and you can find it on Spotify, I'm sure, every other platform where you can find Worth the Journey, right? My buddies and I, one was a student coach while I was playing, and the other one was, one of my best friends who was a defensive end when I was playing through Youngstown. We kind of gave it 10 years, and we figured, hey, our Facebook alumni group's not really doing what they need to be doing. We need to attract to a younger crowd. We need to kind of connect with people. And we figured everybody our age is maybe doing some exercise for 45 to 60 minutes a day. Let's try to, give them a product where they can keep in touch with the players and the coaches, and, kind of give our alumni another avenue so that they can actually stay in touch with the football program. And so the Y-Town Penguin Football Podcast, it's gearing up right now because it's fall and it's football. But every Wednesday, we usually get together for about an hour, and we talk about the game. We preview the next game. We talk about some of our players. The cool thing that we do with the podcast, though, is kind of in the off season. We try to get some of our more notable alumni to come on. And, we've had a guy named Tim Johnson who played with the Raiders in the Super Bowl back in 2000 or 2001. And, we've had some guys that got drafted to the NFL. Like one of the guys that I played with, Derek Rivers, I think he was drafted by Bill Belichick in the 3rd round back in 2017. We've also had Coach Tress on. Tress was a big one for us. That was probably our most listened to podcast. But if you don't know Tress coached at YSU in the 90s, won 4 national championships.
Yeah, he was all right.
I think the best thing that he came on and said was he drove himself to his interview and then left and thought he wasn't going to get the job. And I think he took the first job for like $12,000 or something and was like, I have no staff. I have no budget. They're giving me $12,000 to coach. And, now he wins 4 national titles at Youngstown State, builds it up to what it is, and goes off to Ohio State and does his thing there. And so we do our best to try to keep our alumni connected and give them something that they can listen to while they're running or in the gym, so that they can kind of stay in tuned and stay in touch. But it ends up just being kind of like this, a fun conversation where you laugh and bring up old stories. But definitely something that I'm glad we started.
And he played quarterback. Michael Kuri, the principal at McCord, played offensive line. Kurt, would you trust Michael to protect your blind side?
Back then, when he played in the 80s,
Yeah.
yes, absolutely. No
right.
question.
Well,
right
the bigger
now,
question is, what about now?
right now, he's like me. He's like, I could go out there for a couple plays and I give it everything. I don't know if I'm getting off the field, but absolutely, Michael would do it for me now.
A couple or maybe just one?
I don't know, because then I got to ask myself that question: is can I actually go out there and do more than one? Right? We'd be a good tag team for 1 or 2 plays. We better score quick. That's for sure. That's for sure. But he absolutely. He covers my blind side every day if I get a question, right?
Yeah.
But I'm curious, at middle school recess, have you ever been the all-time quarterback?
I let the kids do it. I let the kids do it. I'm more
relive the glory days, man.
Yeah.
I'm more the guy who's
too
like
nice.
that one kid who comes with the football and he's not got anyone to throw with, or he's just throwing with one other person. I like to throw off to the side because I don't know how many more throws I got in this arm here.
It's not over yet.
Okay.
Oh, no.
All right.
No, I mean, sit up, get yourself ready,
I'm ready.
because
This is where the
you
fun
are
begins,
ready
Kurt.
to answer rapid fire questions, and Jeff has the rules for you.
Yep.
Oh,
One
man.
rule. You can ask to pass. The answer will always be no. We will wait you out uncomfortably. All right. Who's louder? Elementary students at recess or middle schoolers in the cafeteria?
Elementary students at recess.
Oh. All right. Who is, in fact, the greatest of all time? Michael Jordan or LeBron James?
MJ.
All right.
And I love LeBron, but it's MJ.
Thank you. Most influential book you have ever read and why?
The Rhythm of Life by Matthew Kelly. It was a book that I got in high school.
Okay.
Just a very even-keeled book about emotions and holding yourself accountable for the things you do, but also, understanding things don't always go your way. But sometimes that's just how life goes.
All right. Best pizza in Youngstown, Ohio, and why is it Wedgwood?
See, Wedgwood
You're not
for
allowed to
sure.
give the answer.
Wedgwood for sure. But I mean, that's a debate. That's big time. Avalon downtown's another big one.
Avalon's good, but
I
Wedgwood.
worked at MVR, which is the Mahoney Valley restaurant.
Never
Great
had that
spot
one.
down there. It's very good. The way they used to make it, not on the menu. It's called Pat's Pizza, and it's spicy blackened chicken with a spicy bow tie sauce on it.
That
Not on the
sounds
menu. It might be on the menu now. Sorry, Pat. Pat's Pizza, but I go Wedgwood.
Would you rather dance everywhere you walk or sing every time you talk?
Lauren and Julie in the office definitely know I sing all the time, so I'm
you're going
singing while I talk.
Can you sing?
Yeah. No, not really.
You were like
Our
that
choir
Kirk
teacher
Cousins,
would say
like
I could.
Kirk Cousins. Nobody ever
Kirk
knew that
O'Chains.
guy. That guy was in his
Kirk's
school
great.
plays, and he can sing. And
I don't think I ever had the courage to do that. I always
Yeah.
felt like I guess I needed a helmet on to go out
listen,
and perform.
you should go back
That's
to the
tough.
Colonial Hills lip sync.
Oh, man. They would sign me up for that.
Oh, yeah?
They would sign me. Gretchen, if you're listening, sign me up.
Rank order these 3 foods from best to least best: chicken wings, tacos, pizza.
Pizza, wings, tacos.
I think I would have gone in that order, Ange. What do you think?
I would go pizza, tacos, wings.
Oh, interesting.
It's a tough one. Tacos
You out on the
are good.
you out on the chicken wings?
Well, I don't want to come into contact with a black bear.
Okay. those were chicken wings. Those were chicken fingers.
Okay, well,
If you could have one superpower, what would you choose and why?
The older I get, the more I want to be able to have the ability to teleport. Simply for the fact that I want to be where I need to be as quickly as possible, both at my job and on like long trips. I enjoy the road trip, but at some point I don't want to do it. And then on the way back when you drive,
You just want to get home.
I just want to get home.
Oh,
Like if I could teleport myself and my family so that we can, but also in the daily life, like, hey, Mr. Hess, we need you in the cafeteria. Boom, I could be right there. That'd be great.
That'd be
Teleportation for me.
All right. As you know, this is those are just kind of the warm ups to the most important question, and that is, what is the greatest cereal of all time?
Reese Puffs.
That was too fast, Kurt. Reese's Puffs. It's good. It's good. Peanut butter Captain Crunch is better than Reese's Puffs.
Ooh.
Listen,
I'm
I'll
a peanut
throw
butter
down.
guy, so
I'm a peanut butter guy too, but peanut butter Captain Crunch actually tastes like peanut butter.
that's the
Reese's
orange
Puffs-
box.
That's the orange
That's
box.
the orange
You go by
box.
the color of the box?
No. Well, I got a 2 and 4 year old now. What flavor do you want? Purple. Purple and pink is what they want. So
Yeah.
I just had to confirm. Orange box is the
All
peanut
right,
butter
Reese's
crunch.
Puff.
That's good. Reese's
All right,
Puffs
it's good.
for me.
I like it. Kurt, thanks for playing along, and thanks for everything you do, and we're glad you chose Worthington.
Yeah. Thank you for having me. This has been great.
Thank you for tuning in to Worth the Journey. We hope you enjoyed today's conversation and maybe even learned something new about the people and stories that make Worthington Schools so special. If you like this episode, don't stop here. Subscribe and join us next time. You can find Worth the Journey on Spotify, Apple Music, Google Podcasts, or on our Worthington Schools website. A big shout out to Corey Carter and our communications team for bringing this podcast to life. And of course, to our students from The Ohio State University who inspired us with this idea. And remember, every journey may not always be easy, but in Worthington Schools, it's always worth it. Thanks for listening. Thanks for being a part of our community. And we can't wait to have you back on our next episode.